Yeah, this is BMW's SUV lineup, which is the X series, and this is starting from the smallest to the highest. The smallest being the BMW X1. The X1 is kind of confusing sometimes because it has the ground clearance of a sedan and the roof line of an SUV, so it's kind of confusing, but still it's an SUV according to BMW. So that is the X1. You get it in 2-liter either petrol or diesel engine, all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. And then the second one in the lineup is the BMW X2, which was introduced in 2018 to bridge a gap between X1 and the X3. Ideally, the X2 is just a sportier version of the X1. Same engine, same powertrain, just a sportier, fancier version of the X1. And then next is the BMW X3. Now the X3 is now the compact luxury crossover SUV for BMW, almost the same size as the Harriers and the CX-5s, and it is available either as a diesel or petrol 2-liter or a 3-liter petrol and diesel. And then we go to the BMW X4. The X4 is just a coupe version of the X3. The X4 shares the same powertrain and engine options as the X3. It's just that the body form changes to a coupe instead of a typical SUV format or form. And then the BMW X5, of course, that one is the mid-sized SUV for BMW. So this mid-sized SUV comes in 3-liter either petrol or diesel engine. That is the M30, M35, M30D, M35D, and the M40i. And then we have the BMW X6, which is just a fancier coupe version of the BMW X5. Same powertrain, same engines, same performance. The X5 will also come as a 5-seater or a 7-seater, depending on the seat configuration you want. And so, as I have said, the X6 is the coupe version of the X5, primarily coming in 5 seats. And then at the top of this range is the BMW X7, which is BMW's flagship SUV. The X7 is now it will come either as a 7-seater or a 5-seater executive SUV, primarily coming in 3 liters engine sizes. That being the flagship SUV, it also serves as the executive luxury, ultra high-end luxury SUV for BMW. So that means you can configure it to get high-end luxury features such as executive lounge seats, rear seat infotainment system, things like that. Now for each of these SUVs, you get the mid-performance and the high-end performance versions of them. For example, for X1 and X2, the mid-performance versions are the BMW X1 M35i or the BMW X2 M35i, which is just a 2-liter petrol engine tuned to give you more power. And then for BMW X3, X4, X5, and I believe the X6, we'll have now the BMW M40D or the M40i, which is a 3-liter turbocharged petrol or diesel engine tuned to give you more power. That is now the mid-performance versions of this. So for example, now we have the BMW X5 M40D or the BMW X5 M40i. And then the high-end performance of these SUVs begin from, I believe, BMW X3, and where you're getting BMW X3 M competition or BMW X4 M competition or BMW X5 M competition or the X6 M competition. And so these ones are high-end performance versions of these SUVs. That means for the X3 and I believe the X4, you are getting a 3-liter twin-turbo charged engine tuned to give you massive performance. And then for the X4, X5, and the X6, you're getting a 4.4-liter twin-turbo charged engine tuned to give you high-end performance. And in terms of performance figures, you're talking about 630 horses of power and up to 750 Newton meters of torque. And then also for the flagship SUV, that is the X7, you also have the performance-oriented versions of it, and that is the BMW M50D, which is a 3-liter quad turbocharged engine. That is a 3-liter diesel engine with 4 turbos. That means it is tuned to give you up to 400 horses of power and 760 Newton meters of torque. And then on the flip side, you also have the BMW X7 M50i, which is a 4.4 liter twin turbocharged petrol engine, which is the same engine you'll find in the X6M, X5M competition, the X6M competition hizo sasa. Yes, so that is the BMW's lineup of SUVs, otherwise called the X series.